Hey, it's Alan from Host Digital, and this is the second video in a 5-part series where I'm going to talk about one e-commerce area of improvement on your website to increase conversion rates and convert more of your website visitors into customers. So for today's mini lesson, we're going to focus on the product detail page. If you missed it last week, I did a video about the product list page. Today, we're going to focus on the product detail page, which in my opinion is the most important page of any e-commerce website. And I'll explain exactly why right now. On my screen, as you can see, I have developed a funnel map. So this basically shows you where the drop-offs are occurring on the site. So this is actually live data from an existing client, which I've anonymized. And it just shows you, category page, product list page, product detail page, add to basket, all the way through the checkout process to sale, where the drop-offs are occurring. So you can see, for example, that about 82% of people progress from the category page to the product list page, and about 52% of people from the product list page to the product detail page, and so on and so forth. But what I often see on an e-commerce website is the biggest area of attrition where website visitors abandon the website the most is at this step here. It's seeing a product, viewing that product, looking at the information about that product, and not adding to basket and going somewhere else and buying from a competitor or whatever. So this tends to be a really big area of friction. And just to really hammer this point home, here I'm looking at all the data segmented, and this is piped out of Google Analytics, by the way. All the data is segmented for desktop here. But if I show you exactly the same data for the same website, but this time segmented by mobile, you'll notice all the numbers drop. So in fact, I think in the last screen it was about 13%, and now we've dropped to below 10% of people on the product detail page actually adding to cart. So not only is the product detail page a huge area of opportunity for many retail, travel, whatever your e-commerce vertical is for many e-commerce sites, but specifically the area of opportunity lies in mobile. So we'll talk about mobile quite a lot in this mini training course. All right, so let's get down to some specific examples. What's going out there in the wild at the moment? So here is an example for Park Cameras. So they sell cameras and camera-related products. This is one of their typical product pages, and they're doing a lot of really good things here. Something I really like is this kind of time urgency message, which is trying to get me to add to basket and complete my order within a certain time frame, about 6 hours, so that I can benefit from next day delivery. But where they're probably missing a trick, in my opinion here, is there's very little information on this page about delivery and about returns. And time again in my user testing, one of the main things users and website visitors are asking for is, what are the terms of a delivery? Do you have A, B, sort of gold, silver, bronze delivery? How much do they cost? When will the product arrive? And similarly, how long can I keep the product before I can return it? Does it have to be in the same packaging and box, et cetera, et cetera? So there's a lot of anxiety around delivery and returns. And that's why it's so crucial to keep that information in situ here on the product detail page. Now, that information, I can't see it anywhere sort of ostensibly on the site, on this page rather. But what I do notice if I look really, really carefully is there is a link in the top navigation to the delivery page over here. And then all the way on the other side of the navigation, there is another link to the delivery page. So the reason that's suboptimal is you don't want to siphon off users away from your core path to purchase and get them off this page. Rather, you want to keep them on this page, get them to add to cart and continue through to checkout. So where possible, keep that delivery and returns information in situ on the page. So here's an example of a website that does that pretty well. This is Oak Furniture Land. Many UK customers will know this site. And the delivery information is right here embedded on the page. Yeah, you've got to click on a tab to see it, but at least you're not going to a whole new URL in order to see that information. So that's a better way of presenting delivery and returns information. On the subject of Oak Furniture Land, something that they could do a lot better, and many retail websites can also benefit from this insight, is introducing the value proposition at a business level. So here's what I mean by that. On this page, it does a great job of persuading me to buy the product. All the value proposition, the imagery, the copy, the content is all focused about this specific product, which is a large oak sideboard. But it's not talking about Oak Furniture Land as a brand, as a business, the ethos, the philosophy. Why should I buy from Oak Furniture Land and not buy this sideboard from one of the other competitors? Even if it's not exactly the same product, they will be like-minded products elsewhere on the internet. But why should I buy from Oak Furniture Land specific? Sell the brand to me. Don't just sell the product. So to give you some examples, I'm just going to glance at my notes here. So for Oak Furniture Land, the UK's largest retailer of solid hardwood furniture. Really, really compelling. They're the biggest. They're the best. This is what they do. They do this exclusively for this type of furniture. They have average over 400,000 orders per year. Size matters. And they do free delivery to whatever room you want. It could be the basement, could be the top floor, could be the loft. Doesn't matter. They will deliver it for free. So these kind of elements, these components of the value proposition, which aren't present on the product detail page, are so important. And they can be often conveyed with a little bit of micro copy. Doesn't have to be verbose, but just very, very succinctly conveying core triggers, which in the mind of the visitor will give them a reason to buy from you and not from one of your competitors. And the reason this is so important is because so many website visitors land on the product detail page, right? So they don't necessarily enter the site on your homepage or your product list page or somewhere else. A large proportion tend to land on the product detail page. Ergo, this is the first opportunity to impress upon them who you are, what your brand is, and what is your core value proposition. So don't miss that trick. Make sure you convey your business level value proposition as well as the product level value proposition on the product detail page. Okay, and the last insight I just want to bring to you, and this is specific to mobile. I hope you can see my screen. It's a little small here for mobile experience, but this is Paperchase. Just adding to cart a birthday card. I think it's a dinosaur birthday card, which I know a lot of kids are into at the moment. And what I notice here is as I scroll down the page, there's a lot of information here about details. They've used an accordion setup so I can see the delivery and returns, which is fantastic. But what you'll notice is I've scrolled quite far down the page now, and the add to bag, the add to basket button, the call to action button is gone, right? Because it's all the way up the top of the page. I've got to scroll right back up to get to it. So to reduce that element of friction and just keep the call to action top of mind for the visitor wherever they are on their page, a really good kind of trick or principle or best practice is to keep the add to basket omnipresent and sticky wherever I am on the page. So this is AO.com, and they've done a really good job. I'm trying to get myself out of the way, but I can't. So hopefully you can still see it. There's an add to basket button that stays omnipresent at the bottom of the page, regardless of my scroll depth. Okay, so really clever way of getting me to think about adding to cart wherever I am on that page. Okay, that was Alan from Host Digital. Hope these principles are really, really useful for you. As I say, I think the PDP, the product detail page, is by far and away the most important page for the majority of websites out there. It's certainly where most abandonment occurs. It's certainly where there's a lot of area of opportunity to improve things from a persuasive CRO, conversion rate optimization point of view. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up or a like if you're watching this on LinkedIn or YouTube. Reach out to me if you've got any questions. I'd love to talk further about your website and how we can optimize conversion rates for you and maximize those website revenues. Take care. Speak soon.